Soprano sax players have a big problem, or should I say, two big problems. Firstly, there's the constant comparisons to Kenny G. No offense, Kenny. And second, there's a distinct lack of options when it comes to actually buying a soprano sax. You see, for most soprano players, this isn't their first rodeo. Most already have experience on the alto or tenor and have decided at some point that they're just crazy enough to take the plunge and add a soprano to their saxophone arsenal. But that also leaves a bit of a problem, because on one end of the spectrum you've got the really cheap and nasty eBay and Amazon saxes that quite frankly most of these sax players would have outgrown. And on the other end, you've got the full-priced intermediate and pro saxes from the likes of Yamaha, Yanagisawa and Selmer, which are beautiful instruments but won't see you out the door for much less than $3 grand. It's between these two price points that things are pretty barren. You know, if only there was something to fill the gap. Ah well. Of course, I'm kidding. This is an instrument designed to fill that gap, the Jean Paul SS860, a professional soprano saxophone priced at a very reasonable $12.99. Now, with that professional label though, comes a whole new set of expectations. And it should be said that Jean Paul are still a newcomer to the professional world. They've made a splash already in the entry-level space with their fantastic AS400, a sax that I reviewed for this channel and was genuinely impressed by for its intonation, build quality and projection. Sure, it might have a couple of minor drawbacks, but for the price you pay, which was recently revised up slightly to $5.99, you're still getting an excellent quality instrument and a great introduction to the saxophone world. Now, if you're still unfamiliar with Jean Paul as a company, let me fill you in. They're a family-run business based in Miami, Florida. They're also very open with the fact that all of their instruments are manufactured in China. But with Jean Paul, there's a very important caveat. Each and every one of their saxophones goes through their Miami workshop for setup and final checks before being shipped out to the customer. Things like adjusting spring tension to ensure even regulation, checking for leaks, reseating pads, and leveling tone holes, if necessary, are just some of the boxes that get checked at the Jean Paul workshop before you receive it at your door. It might sound basic, but this is a crucial step missing from other low-price saxophones online. Why? Because it's fiddly, it's labor intensive, it requires an experienced technician who truly knows what they're doing, and most online brands simply don't want to build it into their cost. The result is that most of those other low price saxes get sent to you directly from the factory, warts and all. You might get a great instrument, or you might get something with serious issues. There's no way of knowing until the sax arrives. And worse still, most beginners won't have the experience to pick up on those deficiencies until it's too late, which is kind of what they're banking on. It's the biggest reason why I've never felt totally comfortable recommending any of these other online brands to members of the Sax Tuition community. So it's safe to say I'm a big fan of what Jean Paul are doing, and I'm also incredibly grateful to them for sending one of their newest horns halfway across the globe to me so I can review it to you guys on the Sax Tuition channel. With all of that being said, this is still an unbiased review. There are no prearranged talking points, and all of the opinions expressed in this video are my own. Now, before we take a closer look at this sax, go through the pros and cons, and you hear it in action for yourself, don't forget to take a moment to subscribe to the Sax Tuition YouTube channel if you want to see more tips and tricks and saxophone reviews just like this one. So, let's get into it. Firstly, let's go over what's included with this saxophone when it arrives at your door. You get a really nice quality case. It's got an included shoulder strap, a zipped pocket for some accessories, and a tightly molded interior. Really the one criteria I have for a case, particularly as this is a professional instrument, is could I take it on a plane? And if the gate attendant absolutely forced me to check this case, would the sax come out in one piece? Well, I'm happy to say that I think it would. The foam, or whatever's underneath this fabric interior, is high enough density that to me, it certainly feels that it couldn't be crushed with anything less than extreme pressure. Apart from a nice case, we also get all of the normal inclusions we'd expect with a new sax. We've got a sticker cork grease, a cleaning cloth, a microfiber polishing cloth, a few D'Addario 2.5 reeds, a warranty card, and a D'Addario neck strap. Now, the included mouthpiece is Jean Paul's own Optima mouthpiece. I'm really keen to try it out as I quite like the alto sax version that I tested with the AS400. But given that it's a pro instrument, I'm also expecting that I'll probably want to swap it out for something else at some point. So now, onto the saxophone itself. Now, already looking at this sax and getting my hands on it for the first time, I can feel a noticeable step up in terms of quality and design. Check out that left-hand pinky table. Not only does it have the seesaw mechanism for transitioning between your low B flat and C sharp, but it's also got this other little seesaw mechanism that connects the C sharp and the B together. Now, I joked in my last video where I compared entry-level Yamahas that so much of what can separate a beginner sax to a pro sax comes down to this one little table. And certainly it seems already like Jean Paul has nailed the brief with this one. Taking a closer look at the keys, you'll notice that they are genuine mother of pearl. They've got a lovely luster to them and they feel really nice under the fingers. And staying in the looks department, if we check out the engraving, you'll see we've got a traditional floral design. It's nothing jaw-dropping, but it is noticeably more detailed than the engraving on the AS400. And I'd say it's pretty comparable with the engraving you'd find on all but the highest end professional saxophones. Getting my hands around the sax for the first time, I can feel a nice even spring tension throughout the instrument. And with the exception of the palm key D, everything's right where I want it in terms of placement. Now, of course, if a palm key doesn't quite stick out as much as you want it to, it's a really easy fix. All you have to do is slip on a key riser and bam, problem solved. Well, so far so good. It looks good, it feels good. All that's left to do is see if it sounds good. Now for the sound test, I'm going to have a play around with that Optima mouthpiece. That's the one that Jean Paul gives you with this sax. And then I'll compare it to my Selmer Concept mouthpiece, which is my go-to mouthpiece on soprano. So let's have a listen. So before I share my thoughts, what do you guys think about this saxophone? Which mouthpiece did you prefer, and do you think it lives up to the tone quality that you'd expect to hear on a pro saxophone? Leave your comments in the description down below. Now, as far as my thoughts go, firstly, I love the tone. To me, a soprano saxophone should be dark and full. If it's too bright, it can quickly start to sound thin and nasal, and it loses that beautiful pipey quality that I think the soprano should have. For that reason, I do prefer the tone of the Selmer mouthpiece, but even with the Optima mouthpiece, I can still capture some of that warmth and fullness that I'm seeking in this saxophone. Now, it's been a long time since I've had the pleasure of playing on a Yanagisawa soprano sax, which I think most sax players would probably agree sets the highest bar in terms of pro soprano saxophones. But this instrument already has all of the tonal qualities that I'm really after in a soprano. For me, the tone gets a massive check. Now, secondly, the intonation deserves to be mentioned too. It is very accurate and it makes this sax a real pleasure to play. Now, I want to be clear that when I say that, I don't mean that this sax just automatically plays in tune. You still have to work hard with your embouchure and your throat position to get that accurate intonation throughout the entire range. What I'm actually saying here is that the intonation is even throughout. There are no glaring anomalies like the C being sharp and the G being incredibly flat. It's predictable, and that's what makes it accurate. Now, I've had saxophones that I've really loved, like my Selmer Super Balanced Action from back in 1947, that played with an incredible tone, but had really uneven intonation. If you're committed to the instrument, you learn to compensate and deal with it. But if you're buying a modern, professional saxophone, it's not something you really want to deal with. Now, thirdly, let's talk construction and build quality. Now, as I mentioned before, it's been a long time since I've played on a Yanagisawa soprano. And compared to the Julius Keilwerth ST90 Series 3, which is the only other soprano I've personally owned, this Jean Paul SS860 beats it out in practically every conceivable area. Against a really premium sax like those high-end Yanagisawas, look, I'm sure there are still a couple of compromises. For one, the C to E flat transition, whilst a lot smoother than on the AS400, is not quite as smooth as I'd like it to be. There's still a little bit of a gap to overcome with that pinky finger. On the other pinky finger, despite those seesaw mechanisms I mentioned, the pinky finger doesn't roll quite as easily down to the low B flat as it does coming up off the low B flat. For some people, this is all just going to be splitting hairs. The reality is, the more time you spend playing this instrument, the more time you realize how it wants to be played. In this case, exactly where the pinky finger should go to get the smoothest possible transition. And that brings me to my conclusion here. Just like with practically any other purchase in life, buying a new sax is all about compromise. With that vintage Selmer I was telling you about earlier, I was willing to compromise on a few intonation hiccups and some ergonomic issues for the sake of capturing that beautiful vintage tone that I was after. Some players who aren't willing to make any compromises at all, who might purchase something from the likes of Yanagisawa or Selmer Paris, are still making a compromise of sorts in the sense that they're paying a lot of money for their instrument, in some cases at or above the $5,000 US mark. So it really begs the question, what compromises are you really making with this Jean Paul SS860? Well, apart from the couple of minor ergonomic things that I mentioned, not much. The best I can come up with is the brand and where it's manufactured. Jean Paul aren't known yet for making professional instruments. And if I walked into a famous conservatory to play this instrument, I might get a couple of raised eyebrows from someone who actually got close enough to see the brand that was stamped on the bell. But do you know what? When Yamaha first started making saxophones, they didn't have much of a reputation either. It took years for Japan to establish itself as a maker of quality instruments. And if you want some more recent examples, just look at P. Moriat or Eastman. These brands seem to emerge from nowhere. And if I'm not mistaken, both of these brands actually got their start making beginner instruments. Now they've got famous players endorsing them, and they're bought and sold all over the world. Perhaps Jean Paul will follow in their footsteps, and that might make this instrument a rare example of a true bargain in the saxophone world. I, for one, I can't wait to see where they go next. Well guys, as I said at the top of this video, if you'd like to pick up this saxophone for yourself, you can use the affiliate link I've placed in the description below. That will take you directly to the Jean Paul website where you can find more information about this sax. And if you're looking to start the saxophone from scratch, or you need a big leg up, check out the Sax Tuition Beginner series. It's a complete package for learning the saxophone. You can watch lesson 1 right up here, or you can head straight to saxtuition.com to get the entire series for yourself. Well, let me know what you thought about this saxophone. Please leave a comment down below. Hit like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the Sax Tuition YouTube channel for more great saxophone content. And I'll see you all again soon.